Hey everybody, it's Rebecca for episode 9 of the Revenue Rundown. I am here in Center City, Philadelphia in the Municipal Services Building. My special guest today is Sandi Ramos.
Hey!
Say hi to your mom.
Hi, Mom!
Good, great. Sandy's here to talk to us today about homeowner tax relief. And I mean, we've talked a lot about some of our other programs, but today we want to talk a little bit about protections for homeowners. We've been working very hard to collect all of the money that is due to the city of Philadelphia and the school district of Philadelphia. And I mean, we usually start every meeting this way where we ask the crowd, like, what percentage of real estate tax is paid in the year that it's billed? And we get crazy answers that are, I mean, I'm asking you now, like, what percent do you think is paid in the year that it's billed? And I'm sure that, like, there's crickets out there, but put a number in your head, and the answer is actually over 96%. And part of the reason that we're doing such a good job with that is that we've changed a lot of our enforcement, but another big reason is because we're getting more people into compliance through some of these assistance programs. So we'll be talking more about that, and it's really important to remember that every dollar paid for real estate tax, 55 cents goes to the school district and 45 cents goes to support all the services that go to you. So police, fire, snow removal, summer pools, you know, your recreation center, all of those things, the libraries. I mean, that's all paid for through our real estate tax. And so some of the things that are really great, some of the reasons that we think that like assistance programs are so important is they protect some of our most vulnerable citizens who may be living in neighborhoods that are changing very quickly. It also helps people have affordable payments for debt. Like just because you have a real estate tax debt, we have a plan. We can work with you. The trick is you got to reach out. You got to let us know that you're having a problem, and Sandy's going to tell us how to do that and what we're talking about.
Absolutely.
Okay, so I've alluded to it many times, but what is the first program that you want to talk about?
All right. So the first program that we're talking about today is the homestead exemption. Great program. The criteria for homestead is very simple. You need to own and live in your home as your primary residence. So when you think about homestead, there are no age or income limits. This is not a senior-specific program. There's also no length, amount of time that you need to live in your home. Once you buy your home, you should apply for the homestead exemption.
And it is worth $629 off of your real estate tax bill every year. So anyone who owns and lives in their home should be getting the homestead, which reduces your tax bill by $629 every year.
Yes.
And once you apply, you don't have to apply again. It's there.
The only time you would have to apply is if you change your deed. If you add someone, if you remove someone, then it gives us a notice that something's happened with your deed. You do need to reapply if you've changed your deed. Okay. Otherwise, it's a one and done thing. Once you're in homestead, you stay in homestead.
And how does a person apply for homestead?
Super, super easy. You can apply online at www.phila.gov/homestead. You can also download paper applications from there, and you can send them on into us. You can come into any of our locations.
Right, and Michelle in the upstairs is going to put all those links in the comments here. I think that's what, and then you can also check online to see if you have homestead.
You totally can.
And Michelle can add a link to where you look for online. You know, if you look up your property address, it gives you information about the property, and it'll say whether or not you have homestead. So Michelle will put that link in there. If we don't get to it right now, we'll definitely get to it after the video is posted.
We also have applications, just to note, in 9 different languages. So if you want to apply and English is not your primary, we can certainly help you there as well.
Right, so if you're an organization that helps a community that maybe doesn't speak English as a first language, we have applications that can help with that.
Yeah.
Okay, so another really great program is the UPA. I like to say Super UPA, but do you want to tell us more about UPA?
Sure. So UPA is the easy name. It's called the Owner Occupied Payment Agreement. And it's a really important program that helps Philadelphia residents get current on back property taxes. So it allows you to make affordable monthly payments, and it's based on your income and your family size. There's no down payment for UPA, so that's an important thing to note. If you live and own in your property, you're more than likely eligible for it. You can apply at any time. So whenever you find yourself falling behind, becoming delinquent, we encourage you to apply for an UPA.
Right, so the second that you think that you've got a problem, you should call us. That's lesson number one. And number two, if you're the primary owner on the property, or I'm sorry, if you are the owner occupant of the property, I don't want to, like, that's a complicated word. Basically, do you own this home and do you live in it, right? You should reach out to us. You would be eligible for an owner occupied payment agreement. Those are meant to be affordable based on the income, based on your income.
Sure. So, for lower income people, your payment could be as low as $0 a month. Your debt doesn't go away though, right? So for those who qualify, it doesn't go away. It doesn't magically disappear, but it does protect your home from sheriff's sale.
Right. Oh, that's a really good point. So, I mean, basically, eventually the taxes sort of need to be paid.
Sure.
But in the meantime, maybe while you're getting things in order, or for whatever reason, your home, once you're in an UPA, your home is protected. You just need to stay in the UPA and stay in compliance.
Right. You need to, once you get into the agreement, you need to pay the agreement. So you need to stay active, which is really important. I was going to tell you how you get into it. So www.phila.gov/UPA, which is OOPA, and I know that link's going to be in there for you. Again, you can come into any of our locations and apply. And know when you come to our locations, we have access to a language line. So any language that you speak, if English is not your primary, we can certainly be of assistance to you. The other thing, when you're starting to fall behind on your bills, oftentimes people get mail from us and the mail sits and they don't open it because they know that they're starting to get into trouble. Knowing that we have these programs available is exciting because you don't have to be fearful of us. A lot of times people are fearful. Absolutely not. We have great programs that can really help and we want you to take advantage of them.
That's a really, really good point. Like, tax problems don't just go away.
Sure.
Right? And we send lots of letters, and it's important that you open them, and it's important that you call us. If you're just getting an inkling that things are just not, that you might need a little bit of help, that's okay.
That's what we're here for.
That's okay. That's why we're here. That's why we have these programs.
Absolutely.
So we've developed them in conjunction with City Council, with a lot of stakeholder engagement. Lots of community groups helped form these programs, really to help protect the homeowner.
Absolutely.
So we have another one that I'm going to talk about. This is for seniors specifically, right?
Yes. So we have the Senior Citizens Tax Freeze, and that's really exciting. You'd have to be at least 65 years old to apply, and there are income limits. So for an individual person, the income limit is $27,500. For a married couple, is $35,500. There's also a little caveat for someone who maybe a husband or a wife may have been deceased. So at that time of their passing, they had to be 65 and you could have to be 50. So if you meet the age and the income requirements, you could potentially be eligible for the senior tax freeze.
And those income requirements are set by the state. And we get lots of feedback, like,
right,
you guys should raise that. We would love to be able to raise that, but that's like set by an authority that's not us.
It's not us, no.
But it exists, and it does help out a lot of people. I want to say is it 12,000 folks?
Yeah.
Like 12,000 folks are in the program, and that's freezing their property taxes. Do you want to talk about how it?
Yeah. So your property taxes never increase. Even if your property assessment or your tax rate goes up, you pay the same amount every year. And if it goes down, you benefit from the decrease in value.
You're always going to pay the lowest amount.
You're always going to pay the lowest amount. So once you're in, whether it goes up, if it goes up, it stays the same. If it goes down, it goes lower.
So how do people find this program?
Absolutely. www.phila.gov/senior-freeze.
Right, and Michelle will put that in the comments as well. You can also always call us for any of these programs. 215-686-6442. We've got, especially right now through the tax season, we have extended hours, so you can always call us after 5 o'clock on Monday through Thursday until 7, and the wait times on the phone are very, very short, especially right now. Through April 15th, we've got those extended hours. So 215-686-6442 or www.phila.gov/senior-freeze.
Okay. You got it.
All right, and there's one more program you want to talk about, right?
I do. I want to talk about Loop. long-time owner-occupant program.
Right.
So Loop is a little bit more complicated.
It's a lot. It's complicated. I think it's pretty complicated.
But it's meant to help residents who live in a neighborhood for many years. Generally, you need to own your home for at least 10 years.
Right.
And your home value assessment needs to jump by 150% from one year to the next. A lot of people who are applying for Loop right now don't have that change in assessment value, and so they're being disqualified because it's not increasing enough.
So we have an example of this on our website.
We do.
So, and that's at www.phila.gov/loop.
Yes.
/loop, LOOP. So if you can't follow the math example that we're going to say out loud, you can see the math example online.
Sure.
Do you want to walk folks through it?
I do, and I have it written down just so I get it 100% right. Okay. So if your home was assessed at $50,000 last year, and this year it was assessed at $120,000, you have to subtract $45,000 from that 120. Okay, from the current year assessment, you have to subtract homestead, which is $45,000. All right. So once you subtract 120 minus 45, that's $75,000. From last year's 50 to this year's 75, it's a 150% increase, and that's what you need. You need that 150% increase to be Loop eligible.
Right. So I know that can be kind of complicated.
Crazy math.
We don't have like a chalkboard that we can write it out, but it is online, and you can check out that formula. But basically, the big thing is you have to live in your home for 10 years at least.
Yes.
And there's also an income requirement.
There is. The income requirements for Loop are pretty high, though. So we're not really finding the income requirements being limiting to people by any means. It's really that jump in your assessment, which is your primary determinator of whether or not you're eligible, and then knowing that you're tax compliant and you've lived in your property at least 10 years.
Right. So I know that and this is really for folks who've lived in a neighborhood for a long time, and maybe the neighborhood's changing very quickly,
Yes.
and that's happening all across the country. It's a trend, and I think so this is a program that's meant to help folks in those situations.
Right. So a few things to remember. You cannot have homestead and Loop at the same time. Okay, you can only have one of those programs. If you choose to remove Loop from your program because you're finding homestead might be the better benefit, you cannot get back into Loop. So you can't choose Loop one year and choose homestead the next. You apply for Loop in the year that your assessment has jumped, and then you stay in Loop. And then
do you want to talk about how where does the assessment just sort of stays at that in the 1 year that has changed? Right?
It does. It freezes. Once you're in Loop, it freezes your assessment value. And so if your home continues to increase, you don't pay that increase as you go. Right.
So long as you remain eligible in the program and
Yes.
you remain in the home.
Absolutely. That's important.
Right. Okay. So that's for, I know that's not the full list of everything that we offer, but there is a full list of our programs at phila.gov/revenue. There's a tab called programs right in the middle of our homepage. So we know that these programs are growing in participation. Every year, more and more people are taking advantage of them. We give this similar sort of information out to community meetings across the city every day of every week, especially right now. Last year, we went to over 300 community events in person, delivering this type of message to maybe your community group or maybe your church or whatever.
Always happy to come if you need some information. Let us know. We're happy to help.
We're happy to help, and you can do that by reaching out to Vicki Riley in our office, vicki.riley@phila.gov. You can just email her. She'll help get you on our calendar for us to show up. But in the meantime, we are already scheduled this weekend. I'm going to share some of those dates with you.
Ooh, exciting.
So tomorrow, we will be at the Senator Vincent Hughes Free Tax Prep. That's at 3200 West Lehigh from 9 a.m. to 2. And on Sunday, we'll be at Council Member Richardson's Church Outreach. That's at 6121 Cedar Avenue at 10 a.m. On Wednesday, March 11th, we'll be at the Upper Roxborough Civic Association. That's at 8230 Ridge Avenue at 6:30. We'll also the same day be at the Tacony Civic Association. up on Torresdale Avenue at 7 p.m. And again, we're going to have all of this put into the comments section of this video. And then on Thursday, March 12th, we'll be at the West Girard Progress. That's at 6 p.m. And then we'll also be at the Normandy Civic Association at 7 p.m. So if you want to, like I said, just reach out to us. We're happy to attend your event or talk to your group or do a video in the language of your choice. Like, let us know. We want to be able to do whatever it takes to help get this word out and share it with whoever needs to know about it. One really big reminder is real estate taxes are due March 31st of this year. You can always, if you don't feel like you want to come down in person or you want to avoid big crowded spaces right now, you can always, the best way to pay is always online. However, we totally recommend you can pay by phone if you have a checking account. Like, if you can just use the routing number and the account number off your check and pay by phone at 877-309-3710.